All right, hello. Um, the French Connection. This film is available on YouTube right now for free. And so, anyway, spoiler alert, we're going to look at something in here. It's pretty mental, actually. And actually, the more I've looked at it, and I haven't looked at it very much, the crazier it is. So, this is very, like, I haven't really done much on this at all right now, but I'm going to show you something that's crazy in here. But the reason why I decided to watch this film is, number one, I haven't seen it before. Number two, um, Decoding with Cody has been talking about like France and everything because he does the wrestling decode stuff, and they're having this clash in Paris with the WWE Raw thing, and it's happening on the 31st of August, which of course is the and one of the anniversaries of Diana's car crash, where she ended up passing away, supposedly in Paris. Okay, so we're going to look at the connections with this film with that now. Um, I did mention to Cody that if you look at WWE and reverse that E, mirror it, like we've been mirroring everything else recently, and we've been getting all these palindromic numbers. If you mirror that E on WWE, you're going to end up with World War III. Now, I've been talking about the idea of maybe WW3 starting on 9/1, and that the Hoover Dam might be that false flag um, event, so to speak. Um, anyway, what I did mention about WWE reflecting as a WW3, Cody did reply back. He said also you got the Raw there, which is in a reverse as War as well. And I was like, oh, blimmin' hell, that really is ominous. You've got to remember the 31st, the day after is the 1st. This is the day we've been looking at, okay, for that potential thing to start, okay. Anyway, um, this film, oh dear, oh dear. So, spoiler alert, we're going to get into it. Well, I'm going to show you just one spot in it. It's absolutely mental, right? And sure enough, this film does have a connection, and I'll just talk about it when we get past this bit. But it does connect the idea of a car crash with a train crash, and with Madonna, we had with Diana, we had the car crash, and with Madonna, maybe we're gonna have some kind of train connected thing. I'm thinking like somebody getting hit by a train, when you're on a railroad crossing or something. That idea of Anyway, we'll see what happens. Probably nothing will happen, but anyway, let's show you this bit in the film. Excuse me. This is interesting. The false flag thing. I was just saying here. This is the red flag, the warning here. Okay, so this is the scene coming up. We're 54 minutes, 57 in. If you want to find it for yourself, you can go and have a look at all this. There's an absolute ton of shops in the background with references. I'm not going to do all of that. We're just going to flip through basically to the point where I want to get to, which is I want to show you this thing in the street. He's following a bad guy here. They spend most of the film kind of tailing bad guys. Okay, it's an okay film. I wouldn't call it like the best film in the world. But anyway, he's following this bad guy, and okay, I've gone too far already. Let's back up just a little bit. I think it's just right after this point. So there's a bad dude. I really need to cough really badly as well. Might be easier just to play a second or two. Oh dear, West Berry. Gonna bury something in the west. Let's see. So he's following the bad guy. Going down the street there. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Here we go. Just after this point here. Right, so I'll stop it right here. So immediately, this is 820 Palm Superette. The Palm, yeah, this connection with Jesus and so forth and so on, and also the connection with our there's a connection here. Actually, there's several connections because, well, do I put it in this video? I won't get around to put it in another video, but again, I'll just drop back to Decoding with Cody. Was talking about the Russia, the Putin Trump meeting in Alaska, and so you have Alaska and Russia, and where those two um, countries essentially meet. They don't really meet because we've got the Bering Sea, and so he was talking about the bear in one of his decodes. Anyway, I said, hey, there's some islands right there in between, um, the sort of narrowest part of the Bering Strait there, and those islands are the um, Diomedes. Diomedes, does that sound right? Diomedes Islands, and Diomedes is basically a character out of the Trojan Wars. Okay, and that character, I believe, is responsible or is able or is a warrior that. So we're dealing with war again. Is able to. I think he shoots Aphrodite in the hand. Okay, now that idea with getting shot in the hand kind of tied in with St. Giles getting shot in the hand with his deer story, yeah, where they're hunting the deer and he gets in the sort of protects the deer and gets shot in the hand. Okay, so there's this connection back with all this Greek myth, and again, the whole Trojan War is started, yeah, because of Paris, basically. Well, I think so. Yeah, I think it's Helen that goes off with Paris, and everybody goes after him. And oh, you have to put it in the comments if I'm getting it wrong, but everybody goes after him and to get Helen back. Okay. Anyway, there was just this connection with war again. Okay, there was a connection with um, Greek mythology, because of course we're dealing, and again Odysseus pops up with all this as well, with the Trojan War and everything. So this connection back with Paris, Odysseus, obviously Diana is, I mean, we could go on and on and on. But anyway, just wanted to mention that there is that reference, and also when you look at the Bering Strait there, you'll notice that there is, I believe there's on the map there is some bits and pieces to do with the Prince of Wales, maybe something like that. There's definitely some references to those two. Okay, the sort of Prince and Princess of Wales right there at that point again on the Bering Strait there. So you have to go look at the map for that. But I just thought it's worth mentioning in passing. But anyway, 820, the palm. Ouch. Yes, the shot to the palm. The palm that, again, to do with Jesus. And we got the 820 up here. Let's look at this right here. See where my cursor is? We're looking right here at this cart. Again, there is an interesting reference to the to the chariot, and well, I can't remember that story either. I think actually what's name was talking about it. Rambo was talking about it in one of their decodes there. But anyway, here it is. This is what is absolutely blooming mental. Is this 820 Madonna? Notice the color of the cart. Yeah, the silver is it's not a very good DeLorean, but the 820 mad on it. Absolutely mental. Just absolutely blooming mental. I don't know what else to say about it. When I saw that, I was just like, blooming hell, and then the store with the palm on it. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he walks down the street, and in fact, actually, if we just look, this is the bad guy. Let's look at Gene Hackman here in just a second, right? Just notice this up in the top corner here. I'll back that up just a second here. One man. So we see that 820 damn mad reference, and then we see one man. Neo the man, the new man, one man. Okay. And then Gene Hackman pops up again. Okay. Absolutely mental. And you know, they go down the road, there's some references. Yeah. Godiva. God Diva. Godiva. Great. And as they get down the road, there's even more little references here and there. Look what's on the corner of the street down here. Unbelievable. Lady Madonna. You know, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. There's more and more. You know, there's tons of little shops and stuff with interesting names. That one there, I can't quite get on it. Here we go. Ronaldo. It's got the 27 up here. Maya. Maya Flowers. Mayflowers. Unbelievable. What else we got here? Anyway, he ends up chasing this guy down to the subway. So we're in a tunnel and we've got a train reference, you know, just like we've got a reference back to Diana there and Madonna sort of combined. There's plenty of other numbers in the background during this whole thing, and plenty of other references that I could do videos on of connections. But what is interesting, because I just want to get off, I mean, I don't want to spend all day just talking about this. I mean, right here at this point, they're at a stand with a 20. We've got the 20 up here again, and it's cut. I think it's just frozen custard, but all you see on the sign is custard and orange juice. There's the oranges. Okay. Again, we just did the Led Zeppelin, yeah, custard pie decode, you know, and I'm sure there's more to that as well. And it's just, I don't know, you could just go on and on and on with this. Even the train here, can't quite see it, but it's a 6609, I think, this one. There was a couple of trains in this scene, but the 6609, if I get round to it, I'll do a video on it in the Queen's Cross chart that I've got. This is a decode that shows up in the 669. Shows up in one of Madonna's. It's Blumenau. What's that? What It Feels Like for a Girl. That video, that music video that Guy Ritchie did. This, you know, the number shows up. The 669 shows up on a door, and I must do that. I'll do you a decode of that if I get a chance. But again, you'll see the 820s in there on the number plates and everything, you know. And also the Hulk Hogan colours, and also a little bit of a wrestling theme. Now thinking about it, it was pretty interesting. Because when I did that decode off, just getting sidetracked, when I did that decode on that video, I did say, oh, is this some kind of wrestler dude here? We'll have to go back through that video and decode it again. But anyway, at this point, right? So they've done that chase down the road. What is going to end up happening is essentially the next, you know, there's a bit of waffle in there, and then the next sort of scene, they're showing this car crash here. It's kind of like, well, why are they even showing this? Okay, well, we can't really see it, but they've just showed up to a car crash on the side of the road, and they're gonna have a little discussion there. But it was just like really random. I'm like, what the hell's this got to do with anything? I thought it was part of the actual film, but it's just like, no, they're just having a chat, and it just happens to be a car crash. Okay, so they have this little bit, and then following on from this bit, they have a sniper attack. Okay, at this next point here, and I'm thinking, blimey hell, okay, well now we're referencing Donald Trump, okay, and then followed on from that, okay, so that's the sniper attack just happened there. He's going to find the gun up there. There's the gun. And then following on from this, he chases this sniper dude, and they end up getting on a blooming train. This is the baddie. He ends up getting on a train, and again, they have this train chase next, yeah, with the elevated train there, and at the end of that, there is a small crash at the end of it. I just, and there's several interesting numbers that pop up in there, several interesting bits and pieces. I haven't got time to go through it all, but again, to have the car crash, then the sniper thing, and then the train thing is absolutely mental. And this is one of the bad guys, and this is actually his shop, and it's got the 9-1 on the door. The 9-1 on the door. Now, remembering Madonna's Take a Bow, she's got the one. Is it 1 night? It's the 19 on the door. Okay, and this is the doorway. Yeah, the metaphysical doorway into 9-2 to the marriage state. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's probably enough in there. It's absolutely to me it's loaded. Maybe to other people it's maybe not. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of stuff in there. But that 820 with the mad on it, absolutely nuts. Anyway, let's just do some number jumps, right? So the film, note now why this starts looking interesting. We got the 104 for the clock tower in Back to the Future. That is extremely important. Remember that clock tower, the Temple of Athena is the Temple of Diana. Okay. 107's here and a 71. So we've got 1771s. So we've got 71 with the numerology with the release date October 7th, 71. Okay. Again, Diana's birthday is the 1st of July, 7-1. Okay. So let's do some number jumps now. We'll involve this and have a look through what we get. So we'll do, this is the release of the film through to Diana's car crash. A pretty obvious thing to try and do, seeing as it's the French Connection. Lo and behold, we're getting ones, this is 1171 prime, 17 numerology again. Okay, and we can click down through it. 193. Yeah, so that's either side of the wedding date. Click down. 44. That's a balanced number, and then we're down to 29 for the 44 composite. 29. It's the 29th composite number, 44. So we're back to 29 there. So that's quite a nice little number, sort of, what do you call it? It's not really a reduction, but it is a reduction if you like. Back down to the root of that thing. Then we got, what other numbers we got in here? Well, I thought we'd do Madonna, her birthday, through to, again, 7161, which is Diana's. On the surface, it's got the 1051, get rid of that. There's a palindromic 151 there, but if we click it, again, it's the 177th prime. Yeah, the 17s are popping up. We'll do another one. This is the car crash, through to Rocco Ritchie's birthday, when he was born. And here we go, 1077 popping up, so you see these numbers pop up here and there. So all 17 stuff, for Diana. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Boy, I don't know what to say about it. If you go watch the film, it is just, like I said, it's not really a great film. As films go, it's kind of actually a bit boring. But you know, I just couldn't believe that they had, that wagon sitting there on the little cart sitting there on the side of the road, and then they went to a blooming car crash, a sniper thing, and then a train crash. Crazy. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Yeah, we'll see, won't we? 8:20, the French Connection. Blimmin' hell. Okay. Talk to you later. God bless. Good night.